Ja Morant is the leader of the sloth in Memphis. Sky-touching hops plus a no-fear mentality has led to one of the best players in the NBA, and he has never had any trouble letting the league know how good he and his squad are. It has been some time since we really got to see the point guard, and I know he's ready to remind anyone and everyone who forgot what he brings to the court. He truly is an elite offensive player. He has always had such success getting to the rim, and his hyper-athleticism leads to his impressive finishes. The main way Morant gets to the cup is through the pick and roll. Since his rookie year, he has been top 5 in pick and roll frequency and drives per game for all of his eligible seasons. And for stats in this video, I will only be including players that played at least 70% of their team's games for whatever season we are looking at, because that is the cutoff the NBA uses for many stat categories. Time and time again, he gets to his spots with dangerously quick maneuvering after these screens. Whether it's the right to left cross he loves or an in and out, he's just so quick with his moves, as defenders try their best to stop him, but he's just too fast. And the point guard loves to get to his left hand after these moves. Once at the rim, Morant shows just how athletic he is. He can jump out the gym, and this type of bounce can be overwhelming for defenders. He routinely finishes strong through contact, and this sort of persistence but pressure on the rim non-stop helps him to draw fouls. Not only does he get up so high, but he also just seems to float up there for so long with incredible hang time. So because his peers are much more susceptible to gravity, Morant is kind of allowed to stay patient and find the best points of release. And you see this so often when he drives into players, and he's able to find the window at the very last second. In addition to the all-star guard's ability to just get all the way to the cup, we also see his ability to be dangerous as a driver from further out. His floater game makes things even more difficult for defenses. He shows off his patience and IQ, many times in P&R, when he gets defenders on his back, putting them in jail, where he kills teams with this shot. He also uses his handle and quickness to hunt this shot so consistently. This floater makes his driving even more dynamic. Where we also see him wreaking havoc on defenses is in transition. He was 6th in transition points per game and 7th in transition possessions per game in the 2023 season. Morant also uses his blazing speed to get by guys one-on-one in the half court, but he really isn't a heavy isolation player, as he has averaged around 3 isolation possessions per game over his last few seasons. All of this leads to Morant being one of the best paint finishers in the league, so much so that he finished 6th in points in the paint per game in the 2023 season. But he isn't exactly an all-around scoring threat, as he does struggle as a shooter. He shoots just 31.8% from 3 for his career on 4 attempts a game in the regular season. He does shoot close to 36% from deep in the postseason, so hopefully that continues and bleeds into the regular season. We know who Morant is without this 3-point prowess, and I really don't think his lack of a consistent jump shot causes as many problems for him as it usually does for other players. But I would love to see him improve on the shot. The danger he would cause for defenses would raise the best player in the world levels if teams also had to worry about him from far out. When you think of Jaja Binks, the first thing that comes to mind is definitely these highlight plays as a finisher around the basket. But after watching him so much for this video, I believe the point guard deserves a lot more attention for another part of his offensive game. The All-Star showcases so much skill with his passing, with great vision, possessing what a true point guard should. We spoke about how good Morant's pick and roll maneuvering is, and how it opened up so much for his driving. Well, it really opens up so much for his playmaking game as well. I think the main way we see this show up is with his lob throwing. His rim pressure really opens up so many opportunities for his teammates. He reacts so quickly when one of his guys has a chance to fly high. He probably connects with Brandon Clark the most on these plays. Clark's energy and activity, plus Morant's awareness, reaction time, and vision makes for some crowd-shaking plays between these two. In addition to his half-court playmaking, Morant gets so much going in transition as well. He adds so much flash in the fast break. Defenses are so locked in on him, but his unselfishness makes his entire team dangerous. Another little tidbit about Morant's passing that stuck out to me, and that I like, is his ability to put such speed on the ball. He'll often pass with just one hand, and this definitely helps him with flash, but these dimes are also super accurate as he gets the ball to his teammates right where they need it. Morant is a playmaking machine, And the Grizzlies organization, players, coaches, and fans are lucky to have a talent like this on their squad. But on the other side of the ball, Morant is the opposite of elite. He's played with some great defenders throughout his time in the league. All defensive pest Dillon Brooks, former Defensive Player of the Year Jaren Jackson Jr., who may just be the best help side guy in the association. And now Memphis has another former Defensive Player of the Year in Marcus Smart to help make up for Morant's defensive woes. On the ball, he has trouble staying in front of guys, as players can drive by him pretty easily. He can also struggle with screen navigation, dying pretty frequently once the screen is set. Off the ball, Morant can have some struggles as well, not keeping proper track of his man and letting him cut right behind him. I also think he can be very late on rotations a lot of the time, giving up some good opportunities. He has very little defensive responsibility, as he usually is guarding the other team's worst player. Because of his lack of size, I can cut him some slack for some of these, because it is always going to be more difficult to guard as a smaller player, but that is not a complete excuse to be a liability. As outstanding as an offensive talent as the All-Star is, becoming at least an average defender should be a huge focus and would strengthen the Grizzlies' defense even more. I hope his teammates and coaches are in his ear about it, because the need to defend is never going away. Overall, Ja Morant is one of the best in the league today, and he will dominate for years to come. We didn't get to see much from him in his 5th season in the NBA, but he will be back and he will continue to impress. Personally, I'm really excited to see him and Zach Edey play alongside each other and what they will mean for each other on the court. But what do you think? Where does Ja Morant rank for you currently in the league? How good of a chance does Memphis have at the trophy next season? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all for watching. This has been Rxkz with Hoops Times 2. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. I'll see you all next time. Peace out.